Player ratings for the All Blacks after a humbling at home, the biggest ever defeat on New Zealand soil, to the point where I imagine that like Wellington now belongs to South Africa, does it? Actually, probably, to be fair, New Zealand wouldn't mind that. Just annex Wellington, draw a little boundary around it and have it as part of South Africa, and then New Zealand will never have to play a home game there again. I can't imagine they're going to want to in a hurry. That was, humbling. It was described in commentary as embarrassing, and it was proper pants pulled down stuff. And it's hard to know where New Zealand got it so wrong after getting so many things so right only 1 week ago. It's easy to say after the fact because hindsight is 2020, but having played such a smart, intelligent game of rugby and put pressure on with a good kicking game and squeezed and put massive pressure on South Africa at line-out time and played territory, it is hard to know why they strayed so far from that plan. Now, they were playing against the South Africa team today that were probably going to win it, whatever New Zealand did. But there are orders of magnitude, and they got absolutely smoked. And it's easy to say after the fact, but New Zealand trying to play as coast to coast as they did not work. Or at least if you are going to play that, then why not select a team to do that job? And I'll come on to that as I go through the player ratings, but I'd be really interested to know what you think. So please do let me know in the chat down below. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. I gave Ethan de Groot 6 out of 10, which now 6 out of 10 to me is kind of like okay performance. It was all right. And New Zealand were in the game. They were ahead when he left the field. Went off just, no. South Africa had just taken the lead, hadn't they? Just scored that try early in the first half. Just been absolutely monstered at the scrum. And Scott Robertson reacted by getting his replacements on. But actually, first half, they did well to hang in it. And South Africa had an edge, but the scrum hadn't actually smashed them in that first half. And they went in at half-time 10-7 up. I thought Ethan de Groot did okay, and it all went wrong when him and Lomax went off. Samisoni Taukei'aho, one of the few positives for New Zealand. I thought he was really, really good. Line-out was decent while he was on the field. Scrum was okay for the most part when he was on the field with those props. And he had a few good carries. I thought he was one of the rare, bright silver linings for New Zealand. Tyrell Lomax doesn't look quite back to his best yet, but certainly, like I say, the drop-off when he went off was pretty noticeable. Scott Barrett, 4 out of 10. He hardly carried or tackled, particularly in that first half. And I don't know, he just feels like a player to me that has to be involved. And I think it speaks to the fact New Zealand just got the balance wrong when a guy like Scott Barrett was only really being used to give little passes out the back and nothing more. And that's because the New Zealand were playing coast to coast to coast. And I just think guys like Scott Barrett just got gassed by that and couldn't keep it up for very long. So, I just think that the calibration, the balance was all wrong, and New Zealand didn't play enough test match footy. Tupu Vaa'i, 5 out of 10. Line-out was okay. He looked quite good in wide channels. He is kind of got a bit of the Ben Earl about him, the way he'll celebrate oppositions knocking the ball on and stuff. That doesn't endear him to fans. He's one of those players that I think you'd quite like him if he was your player and hate him if he was an opponent. Just purely on the rugby terms, I thought he was all right, but just got done in, particularly line-out time as the game went on. South Africa were just all over them then. Simon Parker, again, he actually did okay. Popped up a couple of times in wide channels, nice little offload to Ardie Savea. But if you're going to play the game that New Zealand were playing, don't pick Simon Parker. Maybe starting with Duplessis Karifi would have been a better shout, with Satiti at 6 and Savea at 8, or whatever combination of the back row. But if you're going to go coast to coast, 100 miles an hour rugby, maybe don't pick Simon Parker. I don't know. Just a thought. Easy to say after the fact. Savea, okay, couple of steals, couple of carries, but just got done by Sia Khaleesi and that Springbok back row. And Wallace Satiti, just outgunned, absolutely outgunned. And you look at how well Jasper Wiese did opposite him, and That's what you remember Wallace Atiti looking like in South Africa last year when they pushed him close in Ellis Park and in Cape Town. To the back line then, and that should be Noah Hotham. Sorry, Noah Hotham. No, Noah Hotham, Noah Picture. But 6 out of 10. Went off after 9 minutes. Bowden Barrett, 6 out of 10. Good first half, bad second half. He kicked too long in the second half. Missed tackles as well, but was okay in the first half. Leroy Carter, along with Samisoni Tokiaho, actually a bright spot. Looked really good. Busy, off his wing, good in contact. Took his try well. I thought he did okay in the air. I thought it was good. Geordie Barrett, the same. Really brave. Try-saving moment was amazing. He got sat down by Jasper Wiese, but got back up and kept trying, but was just on the wrong end of it today. Billy Proctor, more question marks are going to be asked. It hasn't clicked. You can kind of see something there. There were a couple of moments just when it got broken up and he was in loose field running where you thought, this is what Scott Robertson's season in, but it's not really happening yet. Same for Will Jordan. Didn't happen for him. I bet just he was up against a much, much better team on the day. And DMAC, just a bad day at the office for DMAC. Got done in the air, kicked too long. Just a poor day. And unfortunately for New Zealand, the bench, it only got worse. 3 out of 10 for Brodie McAllister. What happened to the line out in that second half? Talmaiti Williams just munched at scrum time. I think they did actually get a penalty once, but generally speaking, Wilco Lowe just ate him. Fletcher Newell 4. Fabian Holland 4. Sorry, did I say 3 for Talmaiti Williams? Then 5 for Talmaiti Williams. I think I might have said 3. Thought that was right. Fabian Holland 4. Duplessis Karifi didn't see a lot in the time he was on. It was all one-way traffic, but he did what he could. Same with Finlay Christie. I actually thought was okay. It's really hard to be a good scrum half when you're playing behind that platform and against the one that South Africa brought. Quinty Payer, same goes. Couple of nice moments, but not really a lot. And Ruben Love 5. Not pretty if you're an All Black fan. Are people going to start asking for Razor's head now after that one? It's mad, isn't it? 1 week ago, winning Eden Park and just thinking really good things, and now scratching your head and thinking all doom and gloom. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but that is a humbling on home soil, and the player ratings don't make for good reading either, do they? But what do you think? Let me know. Speak up for someone you thought had a good game. I've tried to pull out a few bright sparks there. Let me know. I'll see you on the next one.